Hey, Kourtnie. Hey, Laylee. Awesome. Guys, I'm so excited to be live on here. I feel like it's been a little bit since I have come on here and been live, and it's definitely been a little bit since I've done a client spotlight, which is what we are about to do. So, Kourtnie, I will get you in here in just a few minutes. I just want to see and give some people some time. I want to give Instagram some time to let people see that we're on live. So anyways, Laylee, how are you, girl? I hope you're doing so great and feeling like you are like at it full force and not under the weather anymore. I hope you all had a really great Christmas. I did. And to be honest, today felt like a Monday, and it certainly felt like a Monday after a holiday. Can anybody relate to that? But I did get some movement in. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get a full-fledged workout in, just because I was super busy today. But I'm finally getting better, like 90% back. Well, hey, at least you're 90%. Oh, girl, you're a trooper. You are a trooper for sure. But I made a post today about, today being a Monday. It's definitely the last Monday of 2020. So that's kind of cool. Monday after a holiday. So I get it. Like, I'm still kind of in that holiday mode. And I feel like this week between Christmas and New Year's is kind of, it's like awkward. Like, it's weird because you still feel like it's like holiday. We have New Year's coming up and New Year's Eve coming up and all of those things. And so I thought it would be such a great time to come on here and do a client spotlight, because every single time I do these client spotlights, I get so many of you guys that are watching tell me how motivating it is to you and how inspired you get and how excited you get. And so you are not going to be disappointed for tonight's spotlight. I'm super pumped and excited to have Kourtnie, one of my clients, join us. And let me see here. Kourtnie, I am going live with you. And let's have her join us. Hi, girl.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. It's a Monday for sure.
I know, that's what I was just saying. And it started raining here. Like, is it raining where you're at?
Yes, it started. I went for a quick walk before we got started and it rained a little bit on me.
Yeah, it's just joining in with the Mondays of the feels of all of it. But, we're almost at the end. Hey, Libby. So, okay, well, I'm excited about this. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
So let's kind of get going. I know that we have our questions that we have looked over and that we're planning to talk about, but I want people that are watching now and people that come and watch the replay of this to feel like they kind of know a little bit about, like where you're coming from, your background, your lifestyle, stuff like that. So like, why don't you just kind of take it away and tell us a little bit about that? Like, what do you feel like people should kind of know about you before we dive in?
Well, I'm tons of fun.
Sure.
I'm the life of the party usually. No, just kidding. I'm a great friend.
Yep.
No. I am an East Texas girl. I am born and raised in East Texas, a small town called Athens. I went to school at Texas A&M University, so I'm an Aggie. And then I moved to the big city of Dallas after I got out of college, and I've been here ever since. Did a lot of traveling, so I've been to almost every state in the country, all the major metropolitan areas. So I'm fortunate enough that with my job, I'm able to get out and see the country. I'm single. I remember when we did one of our first intro calls, you asked me one of the motivating things of why I was wanting to do this. And I said, well, I want to get to be a quality catch, because you got to be a quality catch if you want to catch quality. So I'm working on myself. So if anybody out there has any eligible single friends, I'm available.
So
put that out in the universe. And I'm a dog mom.
That's right, you are.
Yeah.
Girl, I do. I remember when you said that and I just died laughing, but it's so true. And I'll laugh again today. It's so true. Absolutely. You're going to attract what it is that you are putting out there. Isn't that the truth? So you're right. And you did say that. And I think it's so important. So it's so important. So you are definitely a dog mom. You live in Dallas, all of that. Laylee says, oh my gosh, you're the cutest. You are. I know you are. It's awesome. It's definitely been fun, I feel like, for us, the kind of the time that we've already worked together, and I'm super excited for us to be able to continue and have you around. So, okay, let's kind of start in on this. So tell us a little bit, where were you at? Like, what were the struggles for you before you came and joined our program? Like, kind of give us that background of where were you, kind of like physically, mentally, emotionally, just kind of like all of those things.
Well, I will say that long term, my struggle has always been my weight. I've always yo-yoed. I've been up and down and up and down ever since I can remember, even into my childhood. So I've always struggled with my weight. Then I decided, I needed to start working on my fitness. So about a year ago, I was looking for different options on how I could start working on my fitness. So I joined Orange Theory, which was great for me because I liked it. I got addicted, and before you knew it, I was going 6 days a week, So I was doing that for about a year, and I thought that once I joined and I started, I committed, and I was doing all the workouts, that was going to be the problem solved for me. The weight was going to fall off, but that was not the case. I was putting in the work in the gym. I thought I was eating fairly decently, but obviously I wasn't because the nutrition was the key factor that I was missing. And I kind of always knew that in the back of my head. And, but I didn't know how or what to eat. Something that I thought about is when you're in school and you're a child, they teach you about the 4 major food groups in school, but they don't teach you how to eat, It's so easy to eat fast food or whatever's convenient that you don't have to cook. Everything's processed, and you don't really learn how to eat correctly for your body. You have the food pyramid, and you kind of have a little layout, but they don't give you the information and the education when you're little to learn how to eat when you grow up. And then if your parents don't know how to eat, well, then you never learn it unless you make a concentrated decision that I need to know how to eat for my body to get the results I want.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so true. You're so, so right. You do learn about those food groups, but really like putting that together and figuring out what you're going to need for your body is really, really the key. And so, yeah, you were at Orange Theory. And were you someone that, did you kind of practice, did you kind of dabble in the low carb, no carb, fad diet, that kind of a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
I did everything from protein shakes, like kind of a shake-based diet. I've done the low carb. I've kind of done it all. But the thing that always happens is after I stopped, or in order to maintain, you had to keep doing it. And a lot of those things just aren't sustainable long term, because you're going to crave those carbs. You're going to want the carbs. You're going to want solid food, not just shakes all the time.
Yeah.
So to get like a lifestyle or to have the maintenance long term, there's really isn't a maintenance with those things. It's you do it forever or you stop doing it and you gain the weight back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what caused my yo-yo, because I would stop it. I would do it, I'd get the results, and I would be committed, but then it's like you burn out and you can't sustain it, and then it would just come back.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I think so many people that hear and will hear what you just said are going to relate to you so much, because it's so true, and we don't really realize and understand that when we start something, if that's not something that like you can do long term, then there has to be an end to it at some point. And if you end it and it's something that's super restrictive, then unfortunately, you're going to end up right back where you were. And that does cause that yo-yoing that we've talked about, that causes that roller coaster, not only like with your body, with the actual weight that you're putting on and taking off, but like think of that stress that it puts on your mental state and like your emotions. Like your emotions ride every high and every low on the scale. And so every time you're on that roller coaster, you're going up and down, just like you see with your weight. And that is hard to live over and over and over again. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I know that that will help so many people, and it will show them, look, you know, they're not alone in that. Like you went through that, and so many of our other clients go through that and have gone through that before too. And it can 100% be overcome, but it's all about the way that you're going to go about it. You can lose the weight, and you can lose the weight either way. But if you do it and you start out in a way that is going to set you up long term, looking at success years down the road, you're going to be that much happier, and you're going to be that much more successful at that point in time. So what was the thing that kind of pushed you then to reach out to us? How did you find me? Give us that story, because I love this.
So we mentioned that I joined Orange Theory. So I was there for about a year. And the head coach there was Kristen Bolus, which is now she works with you full time. But when she was still at Orange Theory, she was the first coach I ever had there for my first class there. And, you know, she just is somebody that I grew to trust. And, you know, I depended on her to help me with my fitness goals. And she had mentioned that she was doing some part-time work. And, you know, she never mentioned the BZH by name, but, you know, I kind of started pushing her and pulling information out of her, and, you know, talking to her. At first, I was talking to her about, okay, how do I modify my Orange Theory workouts to burn more calories so I can lose some weight? And, you know, she talked to me a little bit about that, and, you know, the conversation continued, and, you know, it kind of got to where we started talking about nutrition. And, you know, I approached her one day and asked her, you know, what is this that you're doing outside of Orange Theory? What's this new opportunity that you're pursuing? And I wanted to know more about it. And she started telling me about it. She told me as much as she could. And then she's like, let me give you Brittany's Instagram. You go and check her out, see what you think about it. And so I did that. And then I sent you the DM on Instagram, and that's how we connected. But I would say, you know, Kristen is really the contributing factor as to why I reached out, just because, you know, I trusted her, I respected her, and she was just really somebody that I knew would be able to help me. And I was happy that I would be able to continue working with her outside of Orange Theory on this piece of the puzzle as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Kristen. I know. I remember when she was telling me about you. It's like, hey, I have a friend and this and that. And so you reached out and whatnot. And I love that too. And she is someone that anybody that knows her loves her 100%. And for those of you that don't know, Kristen is my head coach that works with me. She is my right-hand girl. She is in with our clients every single day. And she's just a huge piece of this puzzle and of our, you know, our business and what we do to make this work so well. And so, yeah, I mean, she's just phenomenal. And the fact that you said that, like you trust her, you know her, you are trusting the way that she would kind of send you, and to be able to work even closer with her is like an honor. Like she's awesome. She's so awesome. And so I love that. I love that. So then, yeah, so you reached out through DMs just like this here. I know you said you were a little bit nervous because, of course, like when you reach out to somebody that you don't know and you send a message, number one, I think that you think, okay, does this even matter? Does this person really are they even going to see this and respond? And I'm putting myself out there. But I do, like we always respond. I respond to all of my messages. And I have relationships kind of just going, like I want to see and I want to know the people that want to apply for our program and get to know them before they're even in the program. So like you and I, like we got on 2 calls. we talked. I wanted to feel solid about like what you were struggling with and then really where you wanted to go. Because I think that's important. And the relationship piece is as equally important in my point of view, because we work so close together and we have to be able to jive together and kind of have that mesh there. And you feel comfortable letting Kristen and I know when you need something or if we need to adjust and change things. And it's very, very personalized. And so, you know, don't ever, if anybody that's watching, you know, don't be afraid to reach out and send me a DM asking, you know, whatever it is that you need or some advice or whatever. We're not scary on the other end at all, but it does sometimes take that little nudge of yourself to say, okay, I got to do something. I have to make a move and I have to put myself out there to be able to kind of raise my hand to ask for help, or else nobody knows you need help, kind of a thing.
Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
the scariest part. The scariest part is the first step, always. And it's that way with anything. You know, I'll go back to Orange Theory. The scariest part of that was the first class, you know, calling, making the appointment, you show up. And something that always gets me through that fear is, okay, this is not going to be forever. Just do this and think about how you're going to feel on the other side of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Because you're going to feel so good afterwards. You're going to feel so good after you do the thing or after you get your workout in. Like, think of that feeling afterwards and how that's going to help you kind of build that bridge, like I always talk about, to get you to that other side that you really want to be at. So then what was the thing that kind of did say, okay, I need to make a change now. I'm ready for this now. I know we kind of talked about like the pandemic kind of gave you a little bit more time. Talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so I always have put my career first. You know, I've been very career focused in my life. You know, I'm goal oriented. You know, I know where I want to be, so I do whatever it takes to get there. And you know, for the longest time, it's always been my career. So I put in a lot of hours. I have a very stressful position, and I don't have a lot of free time. So that's why when I get my workouts in, it's first thing in the morning. That's when I fit it in. So, you know, I was working really hard. I didn't have a lot of free time. And then the pandemic hits. So all of a sudden, I'm working from home. Work slows way down because I'm in development, property development. So that's always the first thing to slow down considerably when the economy tanks. So I'm working from home and I have a lot of free time. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this can go one or two ways. You know, I can either sit around and, you know, just not do anything, you know, or I can take some initiative and make the most of this opportunity and make the most of this time. And it seemed clear to me that, you know, well, this is the time for action. You've got the time. Now is the time to commit to something and do something about this. And that's really what pushed me toward it. You know, even at the beginning of quarantine, you know, I was able to kind of fine tune my fitness journey, but I was still struggling with the nutrition piece. And so I finally, you know, took the plunge and reached out to you. And, you know, we talked about the fears. I think the fear was double-sided for me reaching out to you, because I was thinking, well, what if I reach out and I don't get accepted? Well, that's really going to stink. But then I'm also thinking, okay, holy crap, what if I do get accepted? Am I going to do this? Am I ready for this? And I think the fact that the process moved so quickly after we spoke, you know, it's kind of like, let's make this decision, let's do it, let's go forward, that there was really no time to second guess myself. And, you know, I was just, okay, this is it, we're doing it, I'm going for it.
I think that's awesome. It's just, you know, sometimes like that moment of being like on that bridge of, okay, I need to do something, and then doing something, staying here. So many people stay here like forever. Like, you can stay there as long as you want to stay there. You can stay stuck. You can stay kind of in that limbo position as long as you want to. But if you just make the decision to say, I'm going to go all in on myself, it doesn't mean I'm going to be perfect. And that's not what we need. Like our program, I think sometimes, you know, whenever you think about, okay, I need to lose 50 pounds, I need to lose 10 pounds, I need to lose 20 pounds, like whatever it is, we get really overwhelmed and intimidated because we think perfection all the time. And something that I heard at church actually on Sunday, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is just so perfect. That's what I try to say all the time. And so I'm going to steal it from him. And he said, it's not about perfection, but it's about direction. And so as long as you're doing the things that you need to do that are leading you into the right direction, as long as, like we always talk about, you're getting your little fish that make up the big strategy for you, as long as we're getting those things in order and they're moving in the right direction for your goals, then you're moving forward. And it's not about being perfect and thinking, okay, I ate I had M&Ms, I had cookies, I had whatever it is. Now my whole day is off and it's a downward spiral. It's actually more about, let's teach you how to get back on track from that point, because you can. And it doesn't mean that you have to like go down that loophole kind of a thing. Do you feel like the mental side of things, like you actually really learning and not having to always rely on me or Kristen to tell you what you need to eat for breakfast or snack, has that helped you? Like, do you feel that you're in a place to where you can make your own food decisions and nutrition decisions, and like you're confident in them?
I will say I'm getting there. I'm getting the confidence, you know. I kind of think of it as having the training wheels on.
Yes.
And I think one of the difference between your program and other programs is that your graduation is to take the training wheels off so that we can make those decisions for ourselves and feel comfortable in our food choices ourselves. Also, one of the things that I really like about the program is when you first start that you're giving a meal plan for 3 days. You know, I was expecting when I started that I was going to get a meal plan and you guys were going to tell me what to eat every day for the next 3 months. So I was a little surprised when that's not what happened. I remember asking Kristen, did you forget to send me some pages on this meal plan? But so it was for 3 days, and you know, she explained to me the reason why is because we're teaching you to be able to make your own food choices, you know. So here's your guideline, here's your outline, and then it's up to you to figure out what you want to eat each day, how to make the pieces fit in the puzzle.
Yeah.
And I think that that's one of the things I like best about the program is that, you know, I'm learning what foods to eat. I'm learning different types of food. I'm learning what I can incorporate. I'm learning that if I want a piece of candy, I can have a piece of candy. If I want to get a Starbucks latte, I can have that. But it's all about figuring out how to make it fit within your day, and that there's flexibility, and that the program and the thinking around food is not restrictive but inclusive, that you can include everything. You can have dessert, you can have pizza, you can have it all. You just have to figure out how to make it fit within your parameters in your day. And that you guys give us the tools to be able to figure that out is very important. So, you know, it's taught me a lot about nutrition. It's taught me the things about nutrition that I didn't know before that I've been looking for.
Good. Absolutely. And I love the fact that you said like the training wheels analogy. Absolutely. The big picture and the point of everything is so that you don't need me anymore one day. So that you're like, hey, I'm good to go. Like, I know what I'm doing. I'm confident in that. I have been through our 3 phases, you know, your weight loss phase, your sculpt phase, your sustain phase, and you're at that point and you're good to go. And so yes, we do come in and we do give you a meal plan and grocery list and things like that so that you're not too overwhelmed. We want to kind of say, okay, don't think, just do. But then at the same time, we're going to come in and start to teach you how to do those things on your own. We want to educate you. And so we're not letting you get too comfortable in any one kind of phase. Because what we need to do, most likely, what has happened up until this point is we spend a lot of time, like I talked about, in that limbo stage, over that bridge. We spend a lot of time in our comfort zone. And sometimes that can be a good thing, but sometimes that can be a bad thing. Sometimes that can keep it to where we've been trying to lose the same 40 pounds over and over and over again. So we need to do something different. We need to get out of the comfort zone. So we come behind you and give you little nudges, and we help you get to the next step that we need to get to. And we're going to say, okay, this is, we don't have to look at the big picture down the road. Let's just look here. Let's do this. Now I need you to do this. And if we can take it step by step like that, then you learn as you go. And we kind of push you out there a little bit, but we're always there to hold your hand and to make sure you're learning and implementing as we go. Because that's what's going to get you to the position and the place to where when you're at the end of your program time, the training wheels are off and you have your own, you can fly and you're so good to go and you won't ever need anything again. And that's what we want. We want you to be at that place to where you are so confident. You've been through those 3 phases. You can go through those 3 phases again if you need to and want to. But we've done the heavy lifting here while you're with us. And anything else beyond that is maintenance. But we're here to get the job done and not waste any time and not have any fluff to it either. Which I think is good because we've been in that limbo position for a while most of the time. So I know you also had said that like you were doing Orange Theory, you were going what, like 5-6 times a week, right? Before us?
Yeah.
Okay. And you hadn't really ever necessarily gotten the nutrition piece with everything either, right?
Correct.
Okay. So we came in, we did not take Orange Theory away completely, but we just kind of implemented our workouts that were very, very much so geared towards your body, geared towards your burn phase of getting the weight off that you want to lose. And we kept, your Orange Theory sprinkled in there, but we really started honing in on that nutrition and the overall strategy for you. We took it from kind of having tunnel vision for just looking at one thing to let's back up, let's look at everything. Let's teach you about sleep, stress, just pre-planning your day, doing yourself favors, the strategy about everything. And when we start to put those things together, the light bulbs start to go off and we start to really understand what's going on and we see things moving. So let's talk about what has moved for you. Like, where are you at today? What has happened results-wise for you?
So I'm down right at 20 pounds. So I would say I'm about halfway through my my weight loss journey with you guys before I start my next phase. I'm feeling better about myself. I think I told you that at the beginning of quarantine, everybody started doing video calls, and I did not want to do video calls because I wasn't happy with the way I looked on video calls or pictures or anything like that. I wanted to just call in and let's not do the camera. But now, as long as I have enough notice that I'm going to be on a camera or on a web call, as long as I feel like I'm camera ready with hair and makeup, I'm good to go.
Of course.
Yes.
Right.
But
Yes.
so I think that's important, is that I'm starting to get my confidence back, and the way I look and the way I feel. I think more importantly than the way I look, I think, is how I feel about myself inside. I'm starting to be more confident inside with myself and who I am, and I'm feeling more stronger in my workouts. I'm able to run faster and jump higher and lift heavier. So, it's having a physical effect, but also a mental effect. And, I finally feel like I'm getting where I want to be.
That's awesome. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so proud of you. I mean, you are just one. You do it. You get it done. You decided, look, I'm doing this. This is my time, and It's just going to happen. It's just going to happen. And you have done a phenomenal job. So yeah, I mean, you came in, you were working out, like we said, 6 days a week, Orange Theory. We cut that down. We really started putting the big picture together, because a lot of the times I think that people kind of, at one point in their life, they might have their workout routine, you know, kind of getting there. Another point in their time, their nutrition might be better. Another point in their time, their sleep might be better, or their commitment level. And what we need to do is really realize it's a combination of all of those things together. And so we need to get all of the right things within those little things together. It's not always about doing more. It's about doing more of the right things. And you have come in and really trusted us and let us help you and guide you and show you which of those things we really need to be doing and in which direction. And so I think that, like we were talking about, those little fish, your little fish are getting where they need to be. And it's one of those things that's a constant thing that we always have to be addressing, which is why we have you fill out your biofeedback form every Tuesday, so that we're assessing those things. We know how your week is going for your sleep and your stress and recovery. Those things are so important. And so I have just a few stats that I ran for you that I wanted to tell you that we looked at. So yes, we're right around 20 pounds that you have lost, which is incredible. And you are in that first phase of your weight loss phase. So we're going to get that handled, taken care of, so that we can get into phase 2, which is my very favorite phase, as quick as we can, but in a way that is going to be effective for you and that your body is going to be ready for. And you've done all of this. You've lost this 20 pounds eating over, where are you at? Over 1,400 calories, which is wonderful. And so many people think that you have to slash to 1,200 calories. You have to eat below 1,000 calories to be able to effectively lose weight. And it's just not true. We're at, like I said, over 1,400, and we started way higher than that. So it's been something that we need to, you know, just be strategic about, for us to be able to go through it and get you into phase 2 effectively, and so that you're thriving. And so I'm really excited about that for you. And then body fat wise, you have lost a total so far of 9% body fat.
I had no idea. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Your pictures show it. And it's just, it's wonderful. Your pictures show it. And then what you just said about like your stamina and you running faster, jumping, like all of those things, like it just shows it in your energy levels, and all of that. And you've lost, let's see, I think we have about 3 inches in your hips and then about 4 inches in your waist. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
I can definitely feel that in my clothes, for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, and there is no doubt that we won't get that this next portion of your weight off. I mean, we're like we said, we are so close to getting there, and I'm so pumped because here just last month you extended. You were part of our birthday bonus that you did, and you jumped on it. And so, hey, we have you for an additional, what is it, 8 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm so excited. And at that point, gosh, like it's just amazing where you're going to be, because you have proven, like, your track record is, man, you're going to do what we say, you know, what you say you're going to do, and you're going to implement, and you trust us. And it's just, look, I'm not going to get bogged down with the big picture. I'm just going to do what I need to do to win today. And that's all I need. And I think you're so good at doing that. And I know that it's just going to keep rolling for you, that success there.
I hope so. It is. I know it is. It will, of course. It's just like you said, it's day by day. It's winning every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And when we can focus on that, the big picture becomes a little bit smaller, and it makes more sense, and it's much more attainable. So, okay, last question. What would you say to someone, let's say the Kourtnie that started, because you started with us in September 14th, I think we have as your first day. So when you started with us back in September, think of that Kourtnie before you came in, before you were learning, before we started seeing this progress. Well, what would you say to her? back then, let's say that there's somebody else out here, that might be watching or watch this replay that is kind of in your shoes and feeling the way that you're feeling, that you were feeling, that yo-yo dieting, really pounding the pavement and working really hard with your workouts and not seeing what you wanted to see. Like, what would you tell them in regards to joining our program, in regards to saying, look, just take the step? What would your words of encouragement be to somebody like that?
Well, I would say to take the first step, to reach out to you guys, that it's not as scary as you think it is.
Yeah.
That you do a very good job of responding quickly. And I think that's the hardest part, is taking the first step. So do it for yourselves, make a commitment to yourself, but be prepared. Be prepared mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. Just make sure that you are ready to commit. It is a commitment, and this is going to be a marathon. It's not going to be a sprint. So if you are looking for a quick fix or the next fad diet, this is not it. That you have to be ready to commit to yourself long term. Initially the commitment is going to be to get through your program. But then after that, you still are going to have to commit to implementing what you've learned for the rest of your life, to maintain. I think my favorite part, like I said, about the program, is that it teaches you the steps. It teaches you what you need to know so that you can graduate, take off the training wheels, and depend on yourself and not have to depend on you and the BCH for the rest of your life. So many programs are, that's their MO, is they want you to be dependent on them, so you have to keep coming back so they can keep, getting what they need out of you, not necessarily what you need out of the program. So just, be prepared to take those steps. Once you make that commitment to yourself, once you're ready to move forward, just trust the program. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to learn at the beginning that you're going to think, there's no way. That's not how this works. You take everything that people are taught, be it you have to restrict your calories down to below 1,200. You can only eat these certain foods, things like that. And you turn it on its head, because, that's not really how it works. And it takes some mental toughness to be able to take that information and implement it and trust the process. Because I remember when I first started, I was eating so much food. I was eating so much. I was eating all day long. It's like, how am I going to get all this food in my body within, these 8 hours and that was a struggle. I think that's a struggle for most people when they start. And it's just understanding that, everything that you think if you did know everything, you wouldn't need this program. So it's trusting the process. After you make the commitment, just trust the process. Take it one day at a time. One of my favorite sayings is, how do you eat an elephant? It sounds overwhelming. Well, you eat it one bite at a time. So you just have to take it a little bit at a time. Take it as it comes, and eventually you'll knock it out.
Boom. There you go. That's awesome. You just said it all. That was so good. So good. And it's so true. The hardest part is just reaching out, getting started. And you're right. Don't get overwhelmed by, like you just said, trying to do it all at the beginning. It's just little by little. Absolutely. Well, Kourtnie, I know that so many people have been inspired by you tonight and are going to be inspired by you by watching this replay and just hearing really your words and the encouragement that comes from you. I know that, like, you are such a source of encouragement for our girls inside of the academy and our group and all of that. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so thankful for you coming on here and sharing with all of us. Thank you so much for doing all of this.
You're welcome. I appreciate your kind words. And for anybody out there that's thinking about doing this, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. You've got the strength. You can do it. you just got to take the first step.
That's right. That's right. You know, we're not super women. We're not superheroes. We don't have all these magic things and you know, like perfect lives and all the time in the world. I'm sure you can hear my kids screaming out there. Like, it's just, if we can do it, you can do it. It's not magic. It's not anything that no one, you know, you have to just, your whole life has to stop in order to do anything. It's just, you just have to make the commitment, and there's no reason why you can't do it. Just like Kourtney's done it, just like, you know, so many other clients have done it. I know what it's done in my life and how it has truly changed my life. Learning these things and being able to share them with so many other people, it's just what I love to do. And so yes, you absolutely can do it. Do not count yourself out before you even enter the game. Don't do that to yourself, because your best self deserves it. You absolutely deserve to feel your best and to live, you know, to show up in your life however you want to show up, however you want to do it. And you absolutely can do it. So, all right. Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. And anybody that's watching, send us a DM, reach out, say, hey, here I am. Send me a message, whatever you want to say on the replay. We'll reach out to you and just have a conversation. That's all it is. All right, girl. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thanks for all your sweet words.
Absolutely. I so appreciate you. We will talk soon. All right.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye.